Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 29 of the Local to Global, here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Now, this is a pretty big episode. It's a milestone episode as well. Not exactly in respects to the episode number that we're actually on, but with the fact, of course, if you've been following the series, you'll kind of know where we're up to. I just wanted to show you guys the size before we actually get into this episode. Now, a lot of this episode, obviously, you can tell from the title, it's going to be our TV debut, which is incredible. Going to be debuting our proper TV show. We're also going to be holding a tournament, but we'll get into that in a second. Now, as you can see, we're currently 66 popularity in Ontario, which I feel like it's pretty incredible when you consider like where we've come, what sort of happened, especially at the start of the series. I mean, some of you watching back then might have thought that this was going to be a failed series. And I have to say, I kind of felt pretty similar to that when I was playing up to about episode 4, I think it was. And once we finished episode 4, the turnaround was complete. And we haven't really looked back since then. So yeah, 66 popularity in Ontario, 45 in Quebec, 44 in Manitoba. We've got 32 there in Saskatchewan, and 24 in Alberta. Now, of course, we just need to get Alberta up to, was it 30? I think it's only 30 popularity. I can have a quick look here if we go to broadcasters really quick. I have decided as well who we are going to be broadcasting onto. And it's going to be maybe a little bit surprising because we're going to go with someone else apart from WrestleWorld. And of course, we've essentially been with WrestleWorld. Well, I mean, we've only been with WrestleWorld, really. So there we go. So yeah, Canada won choice. It is 35 popularity. I was mistaken. Okay, so we still have a little bit. How many points are we away? We're 11 points away in Alberta, so that's not too bad. We'll get there pretty easily, I think. And of course, we need another 3 there in the other region as well. So we're on course, but yeah. So let's get into things. Now, the first thing we're gonna do, and this is, I guess, where it will probably get a little bit. I don't want to say gamey, but it's a little bit gamey. But it does kind of revolve around the series as a whole. What I mean by that is, we're a Canadian company. Obviously, a few Canadian companies have gone out of business. You know, 4C and of course GCG north of the border. They obviously merge, but we're essentially trying to follow in the footsteps of CGC, Canadian Golden Combat, I think it is. Yeah. And basically, we're going to buy, I should say, their world title. We can do that through investments here and purchase a classic belt. So we're going to be purchasing this title. It's only $35,000, really cheap considering where we are financially. 69 prestige as well, which is obviously, if I go back here, a hell of a lot higher than our current world title, which currently sits at a 45. Now, we're not going to be running with the CGC title. However, the first month is going to be a tournament set up for the pay-per-view, which is, Spring Stampede. At Spring Stampede, we're going to crown our first, the first CGC World Champion. I guess a good way of thinking about it, if you guys watch Impact at the moment, I don't actually watch Impact, but I've kind of kept up to date with maybe the YouTube channel and the videos going on there. Moose has essentially brought back the old TNA World title belt, and was basically calling himself a world champion in that regard, and then defending it against people. That's essentially what we're going to do, except instead of defending that belt, the month after, it'll be Brutal Vengeance. No, it won't. It'll be Festival of Violence. We are going to do a title unification match, similar to the, the Undisputed WWE title, the Undisputed title from back in the WWF days. And basically, we're going to have one title belt. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that both of the prestiges get combined. So we should end up with a 69 rated prestige world title. As you can see, currently Angry Gilmore is our world champion. He will not be taking part in the tournament. And what we're going to be doing is running it's just a single elimination tournament. It's going to be 16-man. We're going to have 8 CWC competitors, and then we're going to have 8 outsiders. Essentially, we're getting the best in the world that's essentially available to us at the moment. Well, I guess the most talented or popular workers that are available in Canada that can come and work in Canada at the moment. It's kind of a weird way to put it, but that's essentially what we're going to go with. I've got a little short list on my phone here, and we're going to go through and hire those 8 people. There is also one other thing I wanted to do, and that's the broadcasting. So this is what we're doing. We're going on Dem. I kind of spoke about it a little bit in the couple of the previous episodes. Medium size, 0 popularity in 0 regions. As we currently stand, we need to upgrade our broadcast quality, which will, I think, be equal to ACPW as well. So that's good. Anyway, the reason for this, it's the exact same provider as WrestleWorld, but as you can see, instead of being very small coverage throughout Canada and America, we're now going to be small coverage throughout Canada, America, Mexico, and the UK as well. Unfortunately, we're only tiny in Japan, but I would say being tiny in Japan is still just as good as, well, it's obviously better than having no coverage in Japan. We then have very small in Europe, which is perfectly fine. And luckily we have small in Australia as well. So, there's some potential to get some decent popularity in some other countries, or other regions, I should say, such as Australia, such as Mexico, and potentially the UK and Europe. So we could be trying to eventually get onto some, different, I guess, broadcasters from those regions, possibly pay-per-view carriers as well, pay-per-view broadcasters. And I feel like having our TV show on Dem, yeah, that makes sense, is probably the most beneficial way for us to grow in popularity. And I think it's definitely the smart move. As you can see, New York City have their TV show, so do QAW, and then CZCW, ACPW, IPW, and GSW all run their events on Dem as well. So they're all growing at a pretty rapid rate, which is a little bit scary, because I mentioned I think it was the last episode, that QAW now have a pay-per-view broadcaster in Canada, which was Udemand Canada, which was the other one that we were trying to look at. Actually, I can show them here, can't I? So Udemand, as you can see, ECW, and then QAW, which is crazy. So their finances are going to definitely skyrocket. And it's, it's definitely our next goal, because we're about to go onto the network here. So let me do this first. Let's go to production. Let's upgrade to the broadcast quality that we actually need. Obviously need to find my production. There we go. So we essentially need to go up 2 levels, which is frustrating, but obviously, it's necessary. So here we go. Industry standard is costing us $20,000 per month extra. But there is no per show fee. So in that regard, it's going to be, it's good, but it's also a lot more expensive than what we were paying previously, because we were 2 levels below and still getting that penalty. So we're not going to get any penalties now, which is massive. But here we go. New deal for Coalition Wrestling. We'll go for a 1-year deal. Obviously, we have to be on demand. There is no other option, because it's an internet broadcaster. And as you can see, we're also not affected by head-to-heads. So in that regard, it's kind of good as well. It's all pretty beneficial. So yeah, we don't need to change anything here. But now, for the revenue, we want to try and get as much revenue to our company as possible. And it looks like we're going to get 60% as well, which is massive. I think that's exactly the same as WrestleWorld. So that's kind of perfect. As you can see, we don't pay anything per show, but if we were to go up to 65%, they would expect us to pay $4,500 per show. I'm actually not sure if it would be a good idea to try and get higher revenue split, because that would actually be an interesting experiment. If any of you guys understand the way this kind of works, please feel free to leave a comment down below. But obviously, 60% kind of seems like the best deal. I'm just wondering if maybe you went like 70. Well, they'll be happy to accept 70 if you're paying 9,000 per show. I'm just wondering if that extra 10% of revenue split, if it would be more than 9,000, if you know what I mean. So I'm kind of worrying if that cost, or the benefit would outweigh the cost, I think is the proper way of saying that. Anyway, there we go. Sign the deal. Coalition Wrestling on Ondam. We are finally on. Yeah, there's no other way of saying that. That's going to get rid of that extra on. But there we go. So we're going to stay on to Wrestle World. As you can see, it literally expires in 56. Sorry, almost lost my voice there. 56 days it expires. And I think we'll probably move to Ondam as well for our events. Hopefully, but probably not. I would like to have the popularity required to either get onto... We go back into broadcasters again. Hopefully, either Canada One Choice, like I said, 35 in the 5 regions, or U-Demand Canada, which is exactly the same. Either one of those before the 56 days runs out would be absolutely perfect and ideal. But I'm just not sure if we're going to, just maybe won't make it in time, if that makes sense. Possibly what we could do is try... Just notice that our first show is in 2 days. That's going to be a bit of a problem, but we'll work around that with the tournament. And we'll use one side of the bracket, which will be our workers, essentially. I kind of wanted to have them all integrated. I probably should have planned this out a little bit better. Maybe if we hire a few people, we'll sort out all the contracts before we get into that first show. And a lot of this episode, we're only going to do 2 TV shows for this episode. But a lot of it's going to be setting up the tournament. And of course, we've already done some setting up right now. And of course, we've got a lot of signing. We've got 8 signings to make. Potentially 9. Depending on one signing. There is someone very, very special that is available from US Pro. And we'll get into him. He's also pretty old, but he would be an absolutely incredible signing. Better than Angry Gilmore, I would feel, at this moment in time. And he's pretty cheap as well. Let me just say that. Not as popular as Gilmore, but I think has more upside and more longevity than Gilmore as well. As our sort of top veteran, that we have in the company. Anyway, what was I doing? I needed to do something. I've forgotten. Anyway, let's start signing. So let me grab my phone here. And I could essentially just use the short list, but let's go through. All right, so the first signing we're going to make, and this is actually going to be an exclusive written contract, and this one is going to be Giant Brody. Yes, the 36-year-old is available, currently working for New York City and L-Ring. Let me show you his stats here. 82 basics, 82 psychology, got 82 psychology, yeah, 70 star quality there. Got the menace, doesn't really have a lot on the mic, but he's pretty talented in the ring for a big guy as well. 69 brawling, 42 technical, 45 aerial, and flashiness there as well. He's a bit of a badass. He's also got 70 stamina, which is pretty decent for a big guy as well. A guy of his size, 6'9", 326 pounds. I like the look of him. We're going to face a bit of competition, I would assume, from New York City. But he's going to be fairly cheap. We're only going to get him on I think do I want to go 4 years? Do I want to go 3 years? That's an interesting question. We're going to try and get him a little bit lower as well. Let's try our 14k. At least for our first bid here. And we'll drop that down a little bit there as well. Alright, so he wants 15,400, which I think is a little bit lower. Yeah, it's about $500 lower than what he originally wanted. And I think we'll just go 3 years because I don't see... The thing is, once he gets into time decline, his stamina is probably going to drop really quick. I think by the time he's 40, I would assume he'll be in time decline. So don't want to risk it too much. What the hell happened there? Didn't he just say that he wanted 15,400? What did I do? I don't know. Anyway, gets an extra 200 bucks. Wants higher merchandise, as you'd expect. 20%, 25%. That should be a deal. Okay, there we go. Giant Brody, our first outsider. Top talent, we'll call them, coming in to wrestle, potentially for the CGC World title. Now, another familiar guy on this list, and he's actually on the screen right now. There's actually 2 of them. So yeah, we may as well just go straight to both of those guys. The first one, guy, some of you will be pretty familiar with, especially if you watched my TCW series, and that is Doc Hammond. Yes, he is one half of the new wave. He is Scout, or he's better known as Scout. Very popular, which is perfect. Very good as well. Very good. Little bit old, 45 years old. He's not going to be around for too long. We're probably just going to hire him to maybe just like a 1-year contract, pay per appearance as well. But really good psychology basics, selling. I mean, his primary skills, his top row, you know, his in-ring skills, outstanding. They're all pretty outstanding. The 75 technical really stands out. Got solid enough star quality, and he's also really good on the microphone. Really good entertainment skills there. So he's going to be coming in. Currently works for L Ring, which is interesting. But the popularity is kind of a big deal, a big deal. Anyway, let's get him in. Like I said, I think we'll go handshake. I mean, we can do ongoing, but let's just do 1 year. He'll probably want his stuff covered. We can get him a little bit cheaper, or I can maybe get him a little bit more expensive, but essentially get him in as a... Well, we can get him in to pass the torch, essentially. And what that means is he'll be more inclined to putting over, you know, workers that are not... That are just a little bit below him in terms of popularity and stuff like that. Some younger workers... Well, obviously, pretty much everyone's younger than him at the moment, so there we go. Anyway, I'm going to drop that down, hopefully get a little bit cheaper as well. We can also do events and A shows, so that'll make it essentially a little bit cheaper as well. We'll try 1,300 first. Okay, so he literally wants 1,600, which was the original amount. So I think basically these two are essentially cancelling each other out, I would assume. And of course, he's going to want a lot higher merchandise. Probably wants that 35 or that 30%. Yeah, it's going to be 30. Okay, so there we go. Number 2. Number 3, also on the screen, and that is DC Rain. Another very similar worker to Doc Hammond himself. 39 years old, so he's a little bit cheaper. Similar popularity. Actually kind of got a little bit more popularity. He works for IPW. He works in New York City. I don't think we're going to go for a written contract. 34,500 per month. It's just too much. And he's probably... Yeah, maybe we don't get him, actually. I don't know. I think we'll get him in, but he's only going to come in for maybe a month. Maybe 2 months. We'll go 2 months and maybe give him a storyline with someone. So it's going to be handshake. We'll go 1 month. We'll go 1 month. We can always change that as well. We'll do to pass the torch on him as well. Just, I don't really want to have any issues when it comes to the tournament itself. So we'll try that. He wants 1,740. Which is actually a little bit cheaper than he initially wanted. So that's also pretty beneficial. Does have that 53 stamina though, which is pretty dreadful. All right, let me go back to the phone here, the short list. The next couple of signings are actually, well, I'll save the best for last. So let's go for the next signing, which is an interesting one. And that is going to be... Is he here? Where is he? I think I've done a special search prior. Yeah, Frankie D. Frankie D, not the most popular, but he is Canadian. And as you can see, he used to work for 4C, which is essentially one of those Canadian companies that did unfortunately go out of business between 2016 and 2020. So, yeah. As you can see, though, he's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Solid fundamentals, really good psychology, and you just look at his primary skills. Look at those primaries and tell me that you would not want this guy on your roster, or at least for a world title level tournament. Performance skills aren't the greatest. 62 star quality is okay. Not very good on the microphone. Probably one of the reasons why he doesn't have too much popularity. Now, the only problem I could see us running into, he does work in Japan for EX 2010 and SciShow. I think EX 2010 are above us in the company rankings. So he would essentially prefer to work for them first over us if it comes down to it. Do they work on? Do they have shows on Wednesdays? Possibly, because it's obviously touring companies, I think. So there's something to worry about. Anyway, we're going to try and get him in. It's also going to be a little bit cheaper than everybody else. We'll get him in for... I guess the thing is, do I want him to stick around? He's actually really cheap. If we decided to go for a written contract, it would only be essentially $10,000 per month. And he is Canadian. And he is incredible. Ooh, this is a tough decision. I don't know what to go with. Yeah, that's a really tough decision. I'm kind of... We'll come back to him. Because I'm not 100% sure. Let me have a little bit of a think about things. Let's go to another sort of senior signing. This one's going to be pretty easy. He's very old, so... Yeah, John Greed. Got released by SWF. I think we actually... Did we look at him? We might have looked at him. He's pretty incredible as well. Very incredible. Star quality's there. Still got a little bit of stamina left, which is good. Good psychology, really good basics. Top row, pretty decent. You know, he's pretty decent in the ring. And he's got the entertainment stats as well. Decent enough popularity. And of course, he didn't leave too long ago. As you can see, he only left last month. So I'm assuming he's not going to have any type of ring rust. But that also depends on if he was actually used by SWF prior to being released. So yeah, he's going to be really cheap, so that's perfect. Again, I think we'll just get him on a 1-year contract. And again, we'll go with the same thing to pass the torch. Events and A shows. Try and get him down. Hopefully we'll get him down a little bit. Maybe we'll try 700. He wants, yeah, of course, he wants to travel. So he wants 840. That's perfect. That's perfect for me. I think that's a decent little deal. And for a guy that's that talented, I think that's a decent signing for this tournament. It really is. John Greed. Welcome to Coalition Wrestling. Up next, we're going to go with this could prove to be a really interesting signing. But we're finally going to get a leader for the Doomsday Generation stable. And it's a guy I talked about a long time ago. And that is Zombie Boy. 25-year-old, going to come in, currently working for IPW, PSW. Got about 50 popularity, 49 popularity in Canada. But let me just show you his stats. Yeah. He's developed pretty well since the last time we looked at him. Up to 87 basics. 84 selling. 84 stamina. 66 psychology there. But his primary skills are where it really gets me. He's got 86 flashiness, and pretty much all the other main stats like brawling, aerial. Unfortunately, I wish the hardcore and technical was swapped around. But they're all pretty high. They're all pretty high. He does pick up a few injuries though, which is a little bit worrying. But he does also have the healing factor as well. And I think what that means is he recovers a little bit faster when he's not used. So hopefully that'll be a little bit beneficial. Star quality, only 68, but he's only a skinny lightweight. So hopefully we can bulk him up a bit and really try and get that star quality to a much higher level. 80 star quality for Zombie Boy could potentially make him an absolute monster for our future. And hopefully he just, stays fit. So, like I said, this one could get expensive. It's going to be an exclusive written contract. And we're splashing out. We're going pretty big. Going 10-year contract. I really do see him being a top star for us in the future. I'm going to drop this down to 14,000 because I think it'll automatically correct itself. Oh, okay. Oh, that's fine. So I guess he's already got some real issues about himself. So yeah, he wants everything except house shows. With that said, let's go 13,000. All right, so yeah, because it's such a long-term contract, he wants 18,600 to make up for the fact that he won't be getting any pay rises, which it's fair because his popularity is going to seriously exceed where he's at. But unfortunately, he does want some popularity, merchandise as well. Can we go 10%? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I guess there we go. Alright, but like I said, IPW, PSW, they're both, I think, going to come in for him as well. Because he really is a potential star. Definitely a potential star in the future. If not already. I feel like he's already made to come in and do some damage. Like I said, he will be the stable leader of our... I actually have the name for them as well. I've done a little bit of work, some creative work. And their stable's going to be called Forces of Darkness. I like it. I feel like it fits them. Original Sinner, Wicked Lester, and Zombie Boy. Yeah, I don't know. It just works. He's the Flying Dead, apparently. So, there we go. Anyway, up next, we've got two more signings, and then we're going to go back to Frankie D. The next one we're going to go for, nice and easy, and that is Jackpot Jordan. Also, well, as you can see, currently the New York City Tag Team and PSW Tag Team Champion. But I think that's with a different tag team. Yeah, because obviously he's rich and famous with Jake Idol. I did have them on the TCW live stream series. But I think he's, so he's got two different tag teams. One with the New York Doll in New York City, and then one with Dusty DuCont for PSW. Really interesting. We're not going to go any type of written deal for him. He's also really good. I kind of would like to get him in. Maybe in the future, but he's also getting on a bit. He's in his prime, 36 years old. But yeah, we're just going to go for a handshake deal. I guess for this one, we can just keep it ongoing, maybe. I don't really see a need to not have it be ongoing. And yeah, I mean, everything else can pretty much stay the same. And he wants 1,030, so I was actually pretty close. And he is going to want 25% of the merchandise as well. Okay. He's a top signing as well. Over 50 popularity across Canada there as well. Who's the next one? I know the next one already. I don't even have to look. And this one's an interesting one. This is gonna hopefully spice things up a little bit especially in Canada. And that is going to be Graham Gorman. Currently working for ACPW, currently working for Black Maple Championship Wrestling. Only 33 years old, so we're going to go a written exclusive contract for him. As you can see, looks pretty incredible. I was very hesitant to actually sign him. That was because of his personality or his backstage mentality that he had over on 2016. He was always a negative influence, always. But I'm not sure. I don't think Driven is all that bad. I think you can get some negative incidents happening, but I think Driven isn't that bad. I might be mistaken, but I don't think it's that bad. Anyway, I don't really care. If we have problems with him, we're going to have problems with him. It's going to happen. It's also pretty cool. He's Northern Irish, so it's kind of another, tick in regards to other, countries being represented in our company. And of course, the TV show is going to be broadcasted at small coverage in the UK. So it's kind of a cool little thing. It's got pretty low star quality, but we're not going to worry about that. His prowess is in the ring. 89 basics, 77 psychology, 72 technical, got 67 brawling, 69 flashiness, 61 aerial. He's also got decent, really good, puro and hardcore in there as well. But yeah, the big problem, ACPW. They're going to want to come in. Also, his popularity. He's got 75 popularity in Quebec, primarily because of ACPW. 57 in most of the other regions there as well. This one could get a little messy. All right, let's see what happens with this one. He essentially could miss out, which would be fine. As long as we get our other option, which I'll go into right at the end of these signings. All right, so let's try and drop this down a little bit. Let's go 22,000 as our sort of starting point. We're going to want a five-year contract. No cover. Drop this down as well. Everything except house shows is fine. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so he's going to want 25,100. It's steep. It's only $700 extra for the extra time in his contract. And he also wants the merchandise. Just want to get his merchandise as cheap as possible. Or as low as possible, I should say. There we go. What was that? 20%. Alright, I'm expecting a reply from that one, from ACPW. And then who else? Who do we have left? Is it just Frankie? Yeah, I think it's just Frankie. And then, of course, our special signing that I'm not spoiling yet. Go back to Frankie. I feel like this is a tough one. This really is a tough one because I like the guy. He's too good. I have to. I feel like you guys would be pretty frustrated if I didn't sign him. All right, exclusive written. It's too cheap to essentially not go for it. And I think for him, I will actually give him 4 years. All right, so everything except house shows. Yeah, I don't know. We'll go normal. We'll go normal for him. I also want to drop that down a little bit. Let's go 8,500 and see what happens. All right, so he wants 9,900, which was the original amount. Okay, and we'll see how low we can keep the merchandise once again. Because the more merchandise money the company gets, the better the company is going to be instead of these workers. So there we go. Frankie D as well. Might be some responses there from SciShow and EX 2010 as well. Could be a little bit frustrating. Anyway, we've got 2 days until the next show. Let me also sort out this other person. So here we go. The person that I really would like to get into the company is going to be Roger Cage. Yes, US Pro, former New York City Wrestling was former Empire champion for New York City. I think that was way back in 2013, I think. I think it was, was it 20? No, it was 2016. I think he starts at New York City right at the beginning of 2016, and then within like the first month, essentially gets offered a contract by US Pro back on the old game as well. The reason why I want him though is 40 years old. He's got 96 stamina, so he's going to be putting on high quality matches for probably a long time, probably like the next 4 years minimum, without having to really slow down. Got 91 basics, really good selling, really good flashiness, really good brawling, and really good technical. Really good psychology at 80. It's solid. It's pretty good. 82 star quality, 82 charisma. However, he's also got 86 microphone, 86 acting as well. Professional. He's just really good. All around really good. 58 popularity across Canada, or 57 unfortunately in Ontario. But yeah, as you can see, only 23,200 per month. Now, if I do look here, US Pro have offered him a renegotiation, but I think we're gonna try and go in there and steal him away on a 3-year contract. I think is what we're gonna go with. Let's go here. Let's go 3 years. Events and A shows only. Get that as low as possible. Won't offer that. What is the rest of their offer? 30% merchandise. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. 20% per event as well. What we'll do is we'll go 22,500. We'll match the 20% merchandise. Or actually, it was 30%, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 30. Okay, we'll go 30%. This guy could be a real star for us. He could literally be better than Angry Gilmore is at the moment. And we all kind of know how good Gilmore is. So there we go. We'll go 10% per event. I want to see if he'll accept that. Yeah, see, it's one of 2 offers that he would consider. I want to be top offer. Okay, so we're top offer there with the 20%. Now, I will throw some more money at a second negotiation there as well. This tournament is going to be difficult. Now, what we could do is have the debut show and then try and run the tournament in 3 weeks. But that's a lot of matches. So there's 8 matches in that first round. 8? 16, yep, that's 8. Quick maths. So 8, then 4, and then 2. Actually, that works. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It does work. Okay. Well, that could be pretty beneficial. I just hope that I'm actually doing that correctly in my head. Either way, let's get into the first show. And like I said, we're going to be doing the debut TV show episode, and then the second TV show for this episode of our series here. So you will essentially see the first round of the tournament, and I really do hope that I'm correct with what I'm saying, because that would be so beneficial to for it to line up that way. Because I wanted to have that final, which is the final is obviously the 2 winners of the semifinals, and they will be going at it at the pay-per-view, Spring Stampede, in the main event for the CGC World Title. So there's a lot riding on all of that. A lot riding on it. All right, we got a lot. Okay, cool. Rival bid fails. Okay, perfect. I got really scared there for a second. Yeah, so that's our offer. Looks like our offer is top. Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks like everybody. Pretty much all the written contracts that have 20,000. Okay, we might have started something there with Frankie D. I don't really want to, double our cost with him. Probably should have gone with a paper appearance instead of the exclusive written contract. Yeah, okay. We're gonna let him go. I'll have to find a replacement for him potentially. We could use our own roster guys as well. I did want to put Papa Swole into the tournament. I haven't actually spoken about who's going to be in the tournament for us. Our current roster members. Anyway, let's have a look at Roger Cage. Could be the replacement. It's up to 32,000. Okay. All right, I'm going to set a limit. We're not going above 45,000. So I could potentially go in for 2 more negotiations here. I'm scared though. I'm scared. This is a lot of money. I'm going to go 4 years as well. We're going to match the contract length. What was their offer? It was 32. We're going to go 34, I think. It'd be 1 or 2 offers that he would consider. Don't like that. I really don't like it. All right, let's just go 35. I just want to try and put ourselves a little bit further ahead. We'll go 25,000. We're really splashing out. All right, I kind of feel like he has to accept us. I could really solidify this by going 30% bonus per event. But that's a lot of money to be giving. Like, well, actually, is it really? What's 10%? I mean, it's only like an extra What's an extra $7,000? 20%. So, be what? About 13,500 bonus. That is actually a lot. It's pretty yikes, but we'll try 20. They might renegotiate themselves and try and go a little bit higher. Looks like they already did that twice. Okay, so Graham Gorman. This one's going to be interesting. So 22,800 is being seriously considered. Only giving 10% per event though, so we could go 20% and kind of mess them up a little bit. Go 18,000 on the signing as well. Actually, let's maybe we'll match their 10% because we can go up to 20. Yeah, so there we go. We're top offer. That's perfect. And I mean, taking him away from ACPW, I think he might be their highest, popularity star they have. I really haven't checked their roster too much, but there's a good chance. Anyway, the final one, Giant Brody. Kind of wish I didn't. I don't know about Brody. Part of me thinks that I probably should have just gone for a normal contract with him. Yeah, see, this is getting pretty expensive for all these signings. All right, what we're gonna do? We're gonna go 17,500. They're gonna give him a signing bonus as well of 12,500. Losing a lot of money, but it's okay. It's okay. We're on TV now, so hopefully we should be okay. We'll go events and A shows. That's fine. They didn't give any. Yeah, there's no bonuses there. So one or 2 offers he would consider. We'll go 10% per event. Okay, so there we go. Probably didn't need to give him the extra money. But yeah, there we go. That's all of them. All right, let's advance again. And let's get into this first ever CWC TV show being broadcast in so many regions. Anyway, we've got Wrestlers Court here for Louise Frost. And a nice small positive impact. Thank you, Angry Gilmore. Let's do some meddling here. We're gonna go with Zeus and we're gonna go with Diaz. I just want them to get rid of their negative relationship. It's just a little bit frustrating. Now, as you can see, we were getting nearly 23,000 people for each show that we were doing. We're only getting 5,000 at the moment. So that's a big drop off. Big drop off. Now, that's obviously going to affect our finances a hell of a lot. So it is kind of a big risk, especially with all these contracts coming in. Might have been a little bit smarter for me not to do as many written contracts as we're doing at the moment. We are making about 500. Well, we were making about 500,000 per month. Okay. Anyway, let's get into the show. Where are we gonna run today? Let's run in. I guess for our debut show, we pretty much have to run in Toronto. There we go. Let's run in Toronto. Let me just have a look at the. Where's the 5,000? Yeah, so the 5,000 seat is about 9,000. That's it's perfectly fine. But I just like Toronto because obviously it's kind of the biggest city, or at least I think it is. I'm not really too familiar with the Ontario area. Obviously, Toronto is a key locale along with Ottawa. Anyway, enough about that. Let's book the TV show. As you can see, we've only got 90 minutes, so it's only an hour and a half, which I think was how long our events were. Actually, I think they might have been 2 hours. So we might actually have to make our TV shows a little bit longer, especially with all these new members coming into the roster. But I think for our main event, we are going to do a title match. And we're going to go pretty big. We're going to go pretty big indeed. And we are going to have Mighty Cavanaugh taking on Angry Gilmore in our main event. I would like it to go for 20 minutes. But of course, we've recently learned, well, we've learned quite a while ago, 59 stamina from Gilmore is going to be a bit of a problem. So let's go 16. We're on TV, so we need the time. We need the time. And yeah, Angry Gilmore is going to be victorious. There's going to be some interesting things happening after this match. We'll do a cheeky little angle after it. But I just want to get the matches booked in here first. So, they're going to run with a tag team match. The current tag team champions, Rock City Stars. Actually, I think because it's the debut episode, let's go a triple threat tag team match for the tag titles. We're going big. We're going big. We're going to have Los Hermanos 3, of course, former champions, and then Feel Good Inc. in there as well, also former champions. We're going to give them 12 minutes because it's going to be a pretty exciting match. But we will indeed have a title retention there from our current champions, the Rock City Stars. All right, 2 matches down. I want to have a bit of an exhibition match as well. I want to have Yuta Asono taking on someone decent. Let's go Mobstar. We'll give them 12 minutes as well. I like to give everybody a fair shout when it comes to match time. This one can be called as well. There we go. That's a pretty. This should be a good match. That should really be a good match. Up next. I think we'll do another tag match, and let's have not a team. So obviously Diaz and Jack Pride. I think I want them to take on Young and Wasted. I think that's also going to be a really good match. It's going to be solid enough, for sure. And we are indeed going to give the TV debut victory to the best up-and-comer we have on our roster, in my opinion, James Diaz. I would say Asono's right up there next to him. Very, very close, but it's just something about Diaz. I love something about him. I don't know what it is, but I think it's literally the fact that I didn't really get to use him too much in the Black Canvas Grappling series. And I really wanted to, but obviously the whole Young Lion system over there just didn't allow it. It didn't allow it, and essentially had to job him out to the established members of the roster because he was a Young Lion. All right, what are we at for time? Okay, so we're at 62 minutes. That's getting up there a little bit. That really is getting up there. And of course, angles, I like them to be 8 minutes long. I don't really like 6-minute angles. Bit of a worry, bit of a worry. Okay. I think we need... Actually, that's already 5 match... no, it's 4 matches. I guess what we could do is lower them. We might not be able to do 12-minute matches anymore. Might have to stick with 10 for TV. Then I think we can indeed fit another match in. I guess the question is, who are we going to use? I think we have to go for Davis. You know what I'll do? Let's do this. This is a good opportunity. We're going to go another tag team match. And we are going to go for Davis and Goldstein, the 2 long-term rivals, going to be teaming up tonight to take on Papa Swole and Public Enemy, who are, of course, both newer members of our roster. I would like Edmonton to be the road agent for this one. Actually, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for Goldstein to be in there. Let's do this instead. We have to go with Zeus, because Zeus is Davis's tag team partner in real terms on our roster. So I'll go for them instead. And I think during the match, I want to have... So Davis is going to win. But during the match, we're going to have an interference onto Zeus by Aussie Goldstein. I think that's decent. There we go. I feel like that works a little bit better. Especially for storytelling purposes, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I think I want this match to go on first. And then we're going to have literally 3 tag team matches in a row, essentially. Even though one of them's a triple threat tag, but there we go. Okay. So we're going to go with an Angry Gilmore angle. Prior to the main event. We have to. We literally have to. There's nothing we can do about it. We need the boost from Gilmore. It's just almost a guaranteed 100. I don't want to say it's going to be a 100, but it should be pretty close. The next thing we're going to do is go for the angle preceding, which is going to be Mighty Cavanaugh, Papa Swole, and Public Enemy. And they are going to attack Angry Gilmore after his victory. So it's going to be fighting, and then I think we'll go selling. Selling or acting, I'm not too sure. Either way, we're going to give success to everybody in the angle. I don't think it's going to matter. And I think we might just go 4 minutes on this one as well. Did we set up a storyline? Yes, we did. We are the crew. Okay, so the crew's going to come down and attack. Let's type it in. So the crew attack Gilmore post-match. And maybe steal the title. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Because we can get a little bit of revenge from Gilmore, possibly even on the next show. Depending on how many. Oh, actually, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Now that I'm thinking about it, how are we going to run? I'm definitely going to need to up the time on the next TV show. Now that I think about it, we need to run 8 matches on a TV show. Now, we can put some of the matches as the pre-show, but I don't really want to do that. I really don't want to do that, because I want it to be like the proper experience for this tournament. Anyway, the rest of the angles. So this match here, going to be work the crowd. We're going to start straight into the action on debut with a real solid, high-quality match. Then we're going to go into this match. Now, we're going to want an angle after this one. So we're going to want Aussie Goldstein cutting a promo onto Zeus. Are they part of the same storyline? I think they are. No, they're not. But they will be. So let's do that. And, ooh, okay, we can go one more angle for 7 minutes. Storylines. So I think we'll take Mobstar out of this one now. And we're going to add in... He's in the other storyline as well, the title challenges. So remove Goldstein out of that. We might get rid of this storyline, because there's no one really left in it except for Diaz and Jack Pride. So Deanna can go out of there as well. Actually, yeah, I mean, she probably could have stayed, and we probably could have put a Sono in there. But we're going to add in Goldstein. There we go. We've got the crew there. Yeah, that's fine. They're essentially in there with a couple of jobbers. And a Sono's in this one. But he can essentially leave out of that one. Because a Sono's a heel at the moment. He's, yeah, I kind of like him as a face, like a Kota Ibushi, but at the moment I would say he's kind of a heel. Mobstar's more of a face. Anyway, so we've got one more angle. I'm not really too sure how I want to use it. I would kind of want to say before the tag team title match, but I don't know. Let's go. Yeah, let's go Field Inc. Let's go. I want to put some faith into Gary Walker, and of course Zippy Deverill. The boys. So I need to be 7 minutes. Would like it to be Edmonton as well, but that might be overusing him, I think. Yeah, that's overusing. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's fine. We can give it to Robinson. All right, so we are set. The debut episode of Coalition Wrestling. Well, technically it's not the debut episode because we've been running it as an event, a monthly event for a couple of years now, but yeah. I feel like that show looks pretty good. We might even do a cheeky little pre-show match as well. Why not? Let's go Doomsday Generation. Of course, they're about to get a leader, so that's pretty cool. And I guess they can take on Goldstein and Stephen Parker. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but we probably want to get Stephen Parker in there as well. That's all fine. It's on the pre-show. Doesn't matter. Goldstein with the victory. Okay, there we go. Pre-show, perfect. All right. Let's run it. The debut episode. We start off with a 61 rated pre-show match where we have Ozzy Goldstein and Stephen Parker defeating Doomsday Generation in just under 12 minutes when Ozzy Goldstein pinned Original Sinner with a golden shower. Of course, Goldstein head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. Good stuff. Alright, so we then kick the show off with our first ever match on TV, getting us a 65 rating. We have Mobstar defeating Yuta Osono in 10:05 by pinfall with a flattener DDT. Really solid opening match. Got big, high hopes. Let's say that, high hopes for this this show. That's a solid 73 for Mobstar in the ring there. Very impressed. This match is really good. We get a 71 rated tag team match. I'm kind of glad that I changed it. It is essentially heel versus heel. But I just kind of like the dynamic of this match. We got Davis Wayne Newton and Zeus Maximilian defeating Papa Swole, Public Enemy, in 9:55 when Davis pinned Public Enemy with a fisherman suplex. During the match, we also had Ozzy Goldstein run in and attack Zeus Maximilian. And he had Davis, I mean, of course, head and shoulders above everybody else with an 88. Yes, that's right, 88 in-ring performance. With a nice 70 there from Zeus. Yeah, Davis looked excellent, and Public Enemy's getting better at his gimmick as well. So that's beneficial. Beneficial. Alright, moving into the angle, which does really, really well. We get an 86 rated angle here. We have Ozzy Goldstein cutting a promo onto Zeus Maximilian. And that's essentially going to set up a match for them sometime in the future. Probably I don't want to give too much away, but they might be versing each other in the quarterfinals. So obviously we got the first round, quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final at the pay-per-view, like I said. But Goldstein's got a gimmick that's getting stale. Now, you can actually change it here by returning to the booking screen, I believe. But we'll do that in itself in a second after the show. I'll remember to do it. All right, but that's an 86. That's really solid. I didn't really think that Goldstein was getting angles this highly rated. That's interesting. All right, we then go into a 69 rated tag team match. We have Not a Team, of course, Diaz and Pride, defeating Young and Wasted in 9:34. James Diaz pinned Taylor Norton with an Asian thumb spike. And yeah, Jack Pride being the weak link there, but that's perfectly fine. Brett Kyle, though, with a 66. That's very decent. And Taylor Norton was really off his game. So he was a bit lower, down at a 54. The 69's a very, very solid match. All right, we then go into a 71 rated angle from Feel Good Inc. They're trying to get on the same page again. They're having so much trouble. They won the tag titles, lost them essentially at the first time of asking, really. And they haven't really looked the same since. And yeah, unfortunately, Zippy struggled going off script for this one. The 71's still pretty good. The Triple Threat Tag Team title match getting us a 63 there. We have the Rock City Stars defeating Los Hermanos 2 and Feel Good Inc. in 10-10. Order of elimination was Feel Good Inc. first, then Los Hermanos 3. Rock City Stars making defense number 2 of the Coalition Tag Team titles. Good stuff, good stuff. That's an okay match. That's okay. These two are not great. Zippy's not great. And I guess the rest of them in the match are pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. We then go, I mean, as you'd expect, into a 100 rated angle from Angry Gilmore. He's just a beast. He's a beast. We know it. 83 popularity at the moment prior to this show in Ontario. I mean, he's I don't want to say he's the GOAT because obviously the GOAT is Davis, but Gilmore was essentially a game changer, I feel like. Even with his really low stamina and his age, he's done really well on 100. And of course, he says that he's going to give the fans a show tonight in the main event. He's really going to get the job done and beat Mighty Cavanaugh. Okay. That's not what I was expecting here. That was not what I was expecting. We get a 52. Yes, 52 rated main event. Angry Gilmore defeating Mighty Cavanaugh in 16-14 by pinfall with an anger management. Angry Gilmore making defense number 3 of the CWC World title. A 52. As you can see, there's a reason for it. Angry Gilmore, Mighty Cavanaugh just don't seem to click, and it showed in their performance. They got negative chemistry together, which is really unfortunate, because I was essentially going to run with this as a storyline in the future, which is the reason why I did it as a match tonight. And of course, we've got the angle following it as well. Yeah, and of course, they also have a lack of an associated storyline in there as well. So I guess that's kind of another little penalty, but yeah, stamina again for Gilmore. That's a real big problem. Yeah, that sucks. Anyway, that's a letdown, man. That's a big letdown. That's going to drag the show way down. We might actually lose popularity in Ontario. Anyway, we go into a pretty bad following angle as well. Yeah, pretty bad angle. We get a 57, and we have the crew attacking Angry Gilmore post-match, and of course, Cavanaugh stealing the world title. Gilmore was a real star in the segment. I think it was based on his selling. But as you can see, Papa Swole was underwhelming. Public Enemy did not come out looking good. We essentially overused him. So that's a bit of a problem there as well. And a 57's not great. Not great at all. Anyway, end the show. I mean, we get a 68. So that's pretty beneficial because it's actually above our popularity in Ontario. So we didn't lose any popularity in that region. And as you can see, we increased our popularity in 55 regions. Yeah, on them. Thank you. Very happy to be with them. This first month though is going to be really telling in regards to finances. I might be biting off more than I could chew. I hope that's not the case. We might be making a lot of money through TV as well. All right, we also got some more rival bid updates as well. Let's have a look at this one. See, I knew ACPW were going to go in real hard. We're up to 27,000. So the thing is, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, but go 27,500, and we'll go 20% per event. That might be enough to get him. That might be enough to get him. See, the thing with Brody is I'm not really too worried about losing Brody. Because I do actually have another... I do have another replacement for Brody as well. All right, I mean, Frankie D's is gone. He's gone. So we're going to need to try and sign somebody else as well. Let's just... we'll delete that one. Part of me does want Brody, though. I mean, their offer's not being seriously considered anyway, so... Is it just that one offer? Yeah, one offer, okay. So they altered their terms, but they didn't actually get a better offer than we did. Okay. Coalition Wrestling figures, the viewing figures here, 366,000 viewers. I would say that's up a little bit. That's definitely up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Duke's pretty good, but I don't think we need him. Okay. Let's have a look. How much money did we make there? Okay, so ticket sales. We're going to be losing money. I've got a bad feeling. I've got a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. I mean, the broadcast revenue is going to be a lot higher, but we only made 82,400 in ticket sales for that show. We made almost 1.5 million in ticket sales the previous month. So what's 82,000 times 4? Because we will obviously have a pay-per-view show as well. So 82,400 times 4. So we're going to make about 330,000. What's 1.5 million divided by 4? So 3. As you can tell, I'm really good with a calculator here, but... Okay, so we're essentially going to make half, even less than half, of ticket sales. Ooh, okay. I knew the transition from events to TV show was going to be tough. It was always going to be tough. And the other thing is, we're also spending a lot more money as well. On workers and contracts and stuff. Anyway, let's just, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. It can cripple a company. It can. I don't think we actually gained any popularity from that show, so that's great. This is what the US looks like. So we're up to 41 in the Great Lakes, 37 in Tri-State, Midwest. That looks good. Yeah, Mexico's looking okay, I guess. 9. I think that's all spillover. Same with the British Isles, everywhere else. Assuming we go track progress for Japan. Yeah, I'm assuming that's spillover, probably, from Ontario. Anyway, let's well, I don't really know how many workers I have at the moment because we haven't actually, have we signed any? We haven't signed any. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6. So we're gonna need at least 2 more. Alright, so let's just look for them. These are guys I really just, I almost don't even care how good they are to an extent, but we need to fill out the rest of the tournament. Like I said, at the end of the day, we could just go with guys like Papa Swole, who would probably benefit more by being in the tournament itself. Ash Campbell would be a solid option. Yeah, very solid option. Callie Slick as well. I mean, Devon would be another solid option as well. Probably preferred maybe 1 show for Devon. Actually, Eddie Chandler. We're bringing in Eddie Chandler. I know he's got 49 stamina. But as you can see, he's a former 2-time CGC world champion. So there we go. That's pretty fitting. We'll get Eddie Chandler in, I think, for just 1 month. We'll try and get this as low as possible. Try 700. We'll go events and A shows. Want to pass the torch. Let's try that. He wants 920. It's perfect. Nice and cheap, which is really what we currently need at the moment. At least until we get onto pay-per-view. Once we get onto pay-per-view, all our money problems, they won't matter. So I don't have to worry about them too much. And we can always just, run an extra event as well. It's kind of a bit gamey as well. It's kind of taking advantage of attendance figures, but at the same time, I'm going to do what I need to do to make the money if we find ourselves in a bad financial situation. Anyway, let's set this tournament. Oh, we can't. I was going to say let's set the tournament up using the actual tournament function, but we can't do that because we currently don't have any workers. Well, we're currently missing 1/2 of our. Yeah, I think I'll just put in. I think I'll put in Papa Swole. Or maybe even Marco Gonzalez. Maybe Marco Gonzalez. I think Gonzalez actually deserves it a little bit more. Alright, so we got Brody. 17,500 per month. We got DC Rain for 1 month. We got John Greed for 1 year. And we've also got Jackpot Jordan there for, well, just on a paper appearance contract. Did Roger's thing get updated? Okay. I really hope Roger Cage comes to us, man. He would be a top level signing. Alright, so they're up to 29,000. Oh. Is Graham that good? Is he that good? I think I want to pull out. I think we're going to pull out of this one. Yeah, I can't do it. We can't go over 30 for Graham. He's not going to be a top star. I mean, maybe he would be. Maybe he would be, but let's just leave it. I don't want to put the company into a real risk. And we've signed a lot of people. Marcel Lafleur, eh? Okay, so with that said, let me also go in and change Aussie's gimmick before I forget. Man, let's just we'll tweak it because it's a legendary gimmick. So I definitely want to just tweak that. Pretty boy Aussie, perfect. He's definitely got that perfect gimmick. All right, so we've still got another 5 days. Let's go 2 days, advance 2. It's gonna be a long episode, but I guess you guys probably figured that out when you clicked on the video. And we are going to kick off our tournament in this next show. Ooh, I also need to change the show length. I don't want to do pre-show. Essentially pre-show matches for our tournament. Anyway, here's Doc Hammond. And this, I'm super happy about this signing. Zombie Boy, welcome to the company. Alright, so we've got Eddie Chandler coming in as well. Public Enemy leaving GSW as well. We also could maybe get rid of a few guys. Jay Silver, we could probably get rid of Jay Silver. I do like him. Actually, I think we'll definitely keep Jay Silver. But there are others. There are others. I'm looking at you, Leo Caddy. Yeah, let's get rid of him, man. Absolutely dreadful. Anyway, let's keep advancing, 2 days at a time. I mean, Son of Vengeance would be a very, very decent signing. Being Vengeance's son. I mean, he would have been a decent leader for our Darkness stable. We can actually set them up now as well. Yeah, this episode is it's definitely going to go for an hour and a half. By the time it takes me to book out this, so there's Eddie Chandler, this tournament. That's essentially everybody. No, Roger, how could you do this to me, man? I knew I should have gone 30%. I knew I should have gone 30. That's not a good one. We really could have done with him. He would have been a top star. Anyway, one thing I do want to do actually, let's go to these companies and the big companies. I want to add all their workers to a short list. So I guess first let's go to SWF. Go to their roster, shortlist all of them. And obviously, some of them will probably be on the shortlist anyway. We've got TCW here as well. Definitely shortlist all of them. Primarily, this isn't going to come up too much at the moment, but it's more for the future when we can actually... and look at Alicia Strong. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, once we can actually compete on a top level, we can try and go in for their stars. The other thing I want to do we have Casey Glenn? Yeah, he's already on the shortlist. I was looking at him. He's on a big contract, but I want to get him in to our company. So we've got a year and 11 months left. Unfortunately, he just only recently extended, but we wouldn't have been able to sign him anyway. But in the future, he's actually their top star by the looks of it. There you go. I really wish Casey Glenn was wrestling in America, or at least the North America, I guess is the best way of saying that. Anyway, I guess we can set up the tournament. So it's going to be a 16 singles, I guess, revival of the CGC World title. All right, so how am I gonna book this out? That's another good question. Let me get my thing out here. All right, so I need to get rid of Frankie out of here. I think we got everybody else. I know we didn't get Graham, did we? But we got Eddie Chandler instead. I guess maybe we could get Graham as well. So I guess on this side as well. Let's go Marco Gonzalez. All right. So number one is going to be Davis. Where is he? How am I missing him? So add him to position 1. And then he's going to be taken on... who's he going to be taken on? I think in this first round he's going to be taken on DC Rain. Up next is going to be Zeusy Boy. And Zeus is going to be taken on Giant Brody. There we go. We then got James Diaz. This next match is going to be really exciting. James Diaz in the first round taking on John Greed. That is a match. Match and a half. Up next, we've got Goldstein, the boy Aussie. He's going to be taking on the debuting Zombie Boy. Well, we have a lot of debuts, but yeah, Zombie Boy and Goldstein. Up next, we've got Mighty Cavanaugh. And he's going to be taking on... Ooh, Doc Hammond. Very exciting. Up next, we've got Stephen Parker. And Stephen will be taking on Eddie Chandler. Yeah, we'll go Eddie Chandler. And then we want to have Yuta Asono. And Utah will be taking on Marco Gonzalez. Am I missing something? Oh, Jackpot Jordan. I think, let's go, can I change this? Let's go, I think I want to go, yeah, we'll go Jackpot Jordan against Mighty Cavanaugh. Let's do this. Jackpot Jordan going to position 5, side B. And then Doc Hammond is going to go to position 8, side B. And I don't actually know who he's going to verse. Oh no, Mobstar. Yeah. Sorry. Doc is versing Mobstar in position 8, side A. Okay, there's the tournament. Revival of the CGC World Title. That looks like a pretty decent, bracket. Or at least tournament. So there we go. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Kind of unfortunate that we're missing a little bit. We're only missing Graham Gorman, but we might not even get him, so it doesn't really matter too much. But here we go. Let's start. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. Let me try and please. Oh, fast advance. Please stop. No. I forgot to change the show length. It's going to be an hour and a half. Oh. Well, maybe. Oh, wow. We got Graham. I was kind of willing to let this one slide. We'll take it, though. We'll take it. I guess, yeah, the only thing that kind of messes up the tournament, doesn't it? Can we manage it and change it? Oh, we can. Perfect. All right, so what we're going to do, we're just going to... who was Gonzalez versing in that first round? Okay, perfect. Asono. Yeah, manage. We're going to be removing... Kind of unfortunate, but Gonzalez, he was the last choice there. Oh, we could have just... What have I done here? Didn't want that to happen. He's still in there? He's not. I've just messed up the tournament there. I'm gonna have to redo that. Replace is what I wanted to do. It's weird that you can't just add someone in. But I mean, I guess you can by replacing them. And obviously, if I had red, I would have been a little bit smarter there. So, yeah. I guess yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. I guess I can just... I kind of just want to make a new one. And just we'll roll with it. I'll move that screen over a little bit. Okay, perfect. Alright, perfect. We'll redo it really quick. So what is it called? Survival of the CGC world. Okay. Apologies for this, guys. Obviously, I could edit this out, but I don't really want to spend any extra time. So there we go. There's that. And we need Davis. I'll do this really quickly. Davis taking on DC. We've got Zeus taking on Giant Brody. We've got Diaz taking on John Greed. We've got Aussie Goldstein taking on Zombie Boy. Mighty Cavanaugh taking on Jackpot Jordan. We've got Stephen Parker taking on Eddie Chandler. We've got Utah taking on Graham. And then finally Mobstar taking on Doc. Okay, there we go. We fixed it. World Championship. There we go. I mean, it looks a little bit better even saying like that. Alright, let's delete that one. And then we got the proper tournament. Okay, perfect. Wow. Okay. Yeah, alright. Let's get into it. Gotta book this tournament now. Oh, I didn't. I apologize, guys. I didn't do it. I realized. As soon as I clicked the advance, I knew there was something that I forgot to do. Please, don't be the event day. Oh, yes, perfect. Oh, we can still change it. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Okay, 2 hours. There we go. Yes. Okay. that was going to be so bad. I might actually go. Let's go 2.5 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours should be enough for 8 matches. Correct? Maybe not. We'll we'll go 2.5. I want to be better safe than sorry. So 2.5 it is. Okay, what do we got here? The Crippler injured. Don't care. Yeah, don't care. He's 49 years old. That's pretty old. Okay, this episode's going to be even longer because we're up to an hour and a half now, and I haven't actually booked this show at all. So, perfect. Who's absent? Mighty Cavanaugh. Okay. Alright, we've got another problem. Alright. Stan Manor lifting the locker room, and then hopefully some, yeah, perfect. Some psychology being passed on to Bowden Snoop from Angry Gilmore. Do a quick little medal here between James Diaz and Zeusy Boy. Still no effect. Okay, let's go to Ottawa as well. Also, it is one of those key locale. But let's go back, because once again, we're going to have to go into the tournament, and we're going to have to edit out Mighty Cavanaugh. Alright, so manage. This time, Mighty Cavanaugh, okay, is going to be replaced with, I think we'll go Papa. We'll go Papa Swab. Alright, there we go. So Papa Swole is now going to take on Jackpot Jordan in our match, in our first round match. Okay. Now, there is an easy way to book this, isn't there? I guess not. I guess I have to go in and book all of them separately. Or do I go tournament? I wish there was a way you could just add them. Maybe there is, but I'm probably just missing it. Probably. Anyway. What is that first match? It is going to be Davis and DC Rain. I like this match. I mean, this one's probably a little bit more straightforward than you would expect. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like an easy win, to be honest. A nice little victory there for Davis as well. All right, next match is Zeus and Brody. This one's a tough one, actually. But I feel like on debut, Zeus is going to lose. But we're going to do a little bit of storyline work as well. This one can be Robinson. One can also be Dace. So Brody's going to get the win. It's going to be called. It's going to be a tainted finish. And we're going to have, once again, a distraction. Not a distraction, an interference onto Zeus by Aussie Goldstein. So that storyline's going to continue. They will be versing each other at the pay-per-view. We're not going to pre-book that in, but that is the whole storyline we're going with. Up now, this match excites me. This match really, really excites me. Diaz, John Greed. What a match. I mean, it could be the main event. I would probably put it as the main event, but there's probably not enough popularity there. But what a match. And yeah, I mean, there's some interesting things coming out of this match as well. You might not expect what would happen, but it's happening. All right. Up next, Goldstein taking on Zombie Boy. Possible, well, definite future star, in my opinion. And it's going to be an interesting victory, this one. No, does it need to be scripted? Zombie Boys, no, it can be called. It can be called. He might struggle with a 20-minute called match at the moment, though. He's only got 67 psychology, but it's up there. It's up there. I don't want these matches to be the other way around, really. And that one there. So it's kind of like in order of the way the show's going to go. Alright, so Papa Swole, Jackpot Jordan. Unfortunately, this one's going to be reversed because I did have Mighty Cavanaugh going over. And unfortunately, Cavanaugh's not here. Yes, and he's versing Jackpot. Yeah. There we go. We'll go Robinson for this one. We'll go Dace as well. There we go. Okay. Next one, we've got Stephen Parker, Eddie Chandler. Good match. Really good match. Obviously, the Canadians going at it. I like that. Yeah, surprisingly, we're actually going to give it to Eddie Chandler, the former two-time world champion, at 47 years old, getting the job done against Stephen Parker. All right, next match, Sono Graham Gorman. I mean, that could probably be the main event. Let's be real. Sono Graham Gorman. I mean, if we were in Quebec, it would probably be the main event. And this one's a bit of an upset, I think. It's kind of an upset. Not really, but I can also call that. Okay, so some of these matches we can actually make a little bit longer. I'm thinking that Graham Gorman Osono match is going to go for 20 as well. Let's bump that up. Give it a slow build as well. Beautiful. All right, and then the final match, the main event, Mobstar taking on Doc Hammond. That's a match. That is a match, indeed. Mobstar, Doc Hammond. Crazy, there he is. What's his stamina looking like? 76, so that's perfect. That is literally perfect, and I exited out. Perfect. Okay. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to go this way, though. I think I'm going that way. I don't want to give, you know, spoilers away, but I'm going to go that way. That's our main event. That's a lot of matches to get through. That's a lot of talking for me to do. Yeah, we only need another 29 minutes, so I think I want to just chuck in a whole lot of angles, to be honest. So, you know, I don't think Graham can speak, can he? Not really. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to go for an angle for Mobstar, because no, we'll go Doc. Let's go Doc Hammond. I know Doc can speak. So we'll give him 8. Perfect. Free main event. Then I think we'll go Deanna Desire and Yuta Sono. Together. I think we'll script both of them. It's fine. There we go. That'll go there. Goldstein needs an angle. Actually, can Zombie Boy speak? Not really. I think what I'm gonna do, let's go Goldstein and Zombie Boy together. I want to try and get a bit of a rub off from Goldstein onto Zombie Boy. I think John Greed. We need to have a John Greed angle. Yeah, 100%. So we'll give an angle to John Greed as well. And of course, he's going up against Diaz, so that's pretty interesting. I mean, I kind of feel like we need another angle as well. For Davis, but I don't know. That kind of looks good. What are we doing? What's wrong? All right, we need a storytelling match. This one's fine. Easy. And we're doing too much road agency. Change the, oh, that's already Robinson. Change this one to Robinson as well. All right, there we go. I could get a 7-minute angle in. I'm going to lower this one down to 7. Because I want to give Davis a 7-minute angle to open the show. I guess Robinson. Actually, let's make that Monton. And then I'll change something else as well. Yes, this one. That's already Robinson as well. That's already Robinson. That's already Robinson as well. Okay, we're running out of matches for Robinson to do. Is it Robinson or that's Edmonton? I really want to see what this match can do, so I don't want to do that one. Do that one either. We'll go this one. Oh, that one's already okay. It's a yikes. We'll do that angle because I want Davis to. Do I? Davis will get a higher angle. So let's run with this show. All right, here we go. The start of the tournament for the CGC World Championship. Let's run it. All right, we start off with an 82 rated angle from the GOAT himself, Davis Wayne Newton. And of course, basically putting himself over, saying that, he's kind of a shoo-in. Everybody knows what he's about. He's going to get the job done. Nobody on the roster, even compares to his level. And of course, he says roster, but doesn't realize that there's, essentially 7 or 8 other competitors that are coming into this tournament from outside the company. All right, our opening match, getting a 66, which is actually interesting because they don't seem to click as well. And it made for an awkward bout. We have Davis Wayne Newton defeating the debuting DC Rain in 9:55 by pinfall with a fisherman suplex. As you can see, the match being a part of the tournament. Initial rating of great for DC's gimmick. Yeah, it's fine. He's only here for a month, so it doesn't really matter. We then go into another one. This is hilarious. Anyway, we go into a 63 rated angle where we have Giant Brody defeating Zeus Maximilian in 9:38 by pinfall with a single-handed chokeslam following interference from Aussie Goldstein. Of course, advancing that storyline again. Only a 48 in ring from Giant Brody, debuting his giant gimmick, getting an initial rating of very good. I mean, the giant gimmick gives a large penalty to star quality. I don't like that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Anyway, what can you do? Giant Brody advancing. We then go into a 58 rated angle from John Greed, getting an initial rating of very good for his gimmick. Cult leader, apparently. Cult leader gimmick. We then go into a 7... I knew this match was going to be good. 76 rated match in 10 minutes. We have James Diaz pulling off a massive upset, defeating John Greed in 10:06 by pinfall with an Asian thumb spike. And yeah, Diaz with a 72 in ring, and John Greed with a 55, also getting better at his gimmick. I'm glad we kept him around for a year. I think he's going to be very beneficial. Very beneficial. All right, we then go into a 70 rated angle, which is actually pretty good considering Zombie Boy has like 40 microphone ability. But yeah, between Aussie Goldstein and his opponent, we got Goldstein backstage cutting a promo with an interviewer, some random interviewer. And then we have Zombie Boy appear in the background, in the darkness. He comes over and starts, spieling some stuff about, being dead, but living at the same time. Debuting his undead Daredevil gimmick, getting an initial rating of adequate. No additional pros or cons there. Their match gets a 65, where we have Aussie Goldstein defeating Zombie Boy in 9:38 by pinfall with a golden shower. Goldstein getting a 74 in ring. That's a pretty good match. 58 on debut from Zombie Boy. Happy with that. We then go into a 56. I knew this one was going to be a little bit lower. But we do have Jackpot Jordan defeating Papa Swole in 10:19 by pinfall with a cash-in. And yeah, Jackpot Jordan with a 52. Not the greatest in-ring performance, but debuts his high roller gimmick. Getting an initial rating of very good. Loses damage popularity more than usual. And not suitable to be used by a heel. Interesting. I feel like he is a heel. That's a really random gimmick for him to have. Anyway, he advances. We then go into a 60 rated match where we have Eddie Chandler defeating Stephen Parker in 9:58 by submission with a fabulous stretch. Stephen getting a 59. Unfortunately, Eddie getting a 41 there. Debuting his fabulous heel gimmick, getting an initial rating of great. But yeah, not a very good match. I'm assuming he might be ring rusty. I mean, they're both in time decline. Yeah, no ring rust. Okay. Interesting. He only got a 40. 41. Anyway, moving on to a 60 rated angle between Deanna Desire and her client / boyfriend, Yuta Sono. That's a pretty good angle. I mean, they can do a little bit better than that, I think. But that's a good lead-in to his match. Which gets a 62, where we have Graham Gorman defeating Yuta Sono 1943 by pinfall with a Gorman aghast. And yeah, Graham getting a 67 to Yuta's 57. And yeah, no gimmick needed. Gimmick getting an initial rating of great. It gives a small boost to star quality during matches and angles. And then obviously loses big losses for losing to a comedy worker or in a comedy match. That's okay. 62 is pretty good. We then go into a 67 rated angle for the debuting Doc Hammond. Probably one of the, I guess, one of the most experienced members, apart from maybe Gilmore and maybe Zeus on our roster. Probably more, definitely more than Zeus, without a shadow of a doubt. Maybe John Greed in there as well. But yeah, Doc Hammond debuting his silent but deadly gimmick, getting an initial rating of adequate. Also enjoying the freedom to go off script. Extremely marketable gimmick. Will sell far more merchandise than usual. Wins and losses have greater impact on momentum. And then we get the be penalized for being used in lengthy angles. Interesting. And of course the comedy cartoonish gimmicks, stuff like that. And our main event isn't as good as I thought it would be. It really isn't. Maybe I should have swapped Mobstar with Davis. I think that would have been a much better main event. But even still, we get a 65. It's okay. I mean, John Greed versus Diaz was a 76. That's our main event right there. I thought maybe I should make that the main event, but I went with these guys because I just thought they would do better, to be honest. But 65, and we have Mobstar pulling off a massive upset, defeating Doc Hammond, the experienced Doc Hammond, in 1931 by pinfall with a flattener DDT. But yeah, Mobstar getting a 69 in-ring performance. So definitely outdoing Doc there. I just want to see Doc. Yeah, just declining physical ability. So that's fine. All right, let's finish the show. It's okay. We get a 70 rated TV show for Coalition Wrestling. Once again, increasing our popularity in 55 regions. So I'm assuming no increase there in Ontario, of course. But there's our first round, done and dusted. I think that was a decent show. Yeah, really surprised with Diaz. I mean, I want to check his popularity because it's got to be up there. It really has to be up there now. What a massive victory. 395,000 viewers as well on Ondem. I mean, it looks like we're making a bit of money. It looks like we're making a little bit. But again, we're also going to lose a lot of money coming up as well. And of course, we almost actually made about $1 million in that last month. Because if you see, we bought the dojo last month as well. So if we plus on the 543,000 to the 495,000 that we made, it would be over $1 million in 1 month. So we might be okay. We might be okay. I think we should be fine. We should be fine. Anyway, this is what the quarterfinals are looking like. You've got Davis taking on Brody. Diaz taking on Goldstein. That's our main event right there. We got Jackpot Jordan taking on Chandler. Graham Gorman taking on Mobstar. Diaz versus Goldstein, 100% our main event. And it's going to do pretty well. Anyway, let's take a cheeky little look here at Diaz himself. Up to 54 popularity now. Actually, I think it was already... Wasn't he already there? He was at 53, so he didn't actually get anything from that match, really. He gained 1 point, I guess. Yeah, it's that's kind of unfortunate. Kind of unfortunate. Anyway, let's take a quick look at Angry Gilmore as well. Yeah, still at 83. Okay. I'm assuming it has a lot to do with the actual being a TV show now instead of an event. We probably don't gain as much popularity to our workers. But it is what it is. Anyway, take a quick look at the size. Still don't think we gained any popularity at all in these other regions. Kind of thinking that maybe going onto TV was a bad idea. Kind of. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think if you've especially if you watched this far in the episode. We are going to end it now. It's been an hour and 50 minutes. Please, if you haven't already, smash the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. And apart from that, guys, I'm going to go to bed. Take it easy, and goodbye.